Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind,
Shifted,
and raise the consciousness type of shit.
Yeah, you need to raise it.
I am Mia.
And I am Christy, and you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends for the next hour or so. It depends. We're a little chatty. We'll see. We're a little chatty this evening. Okay, so last episode we talked about holding yourself accountable to yourself. And man, we got a couple of DMs. We got a couple of messages like, oh my goodness, you all just told me about myself.
Thank you guys for sending those messages.
Yes, thank you. But again, holding yourself accountable to yourself, it basically means spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, all of it. You know, we are accountable to all of those aspects of ourselves. So specifically, we talked about holding yourself accountable for your life, for the decisions, the intentions, and actions you've made.
I mean, honestly, and I think I mentioned this in the episode, I wonder how many of us have given ourselves permission to check ourselves. Like, who gonna check me, boo? Like,
right.
Who gonna check you?
A lot of us don't.
There you go. So what we talking about? Oh, I'm telling you what we're talking about. Christy.
No worries. So honestly, thinking back to the permission to check ourselves. Okay, so something that I find myself saying on repeat is perspective is everything. And I think like it's important for us to realize that we can literally shift the way that we see something just by the way that we see it. So today's episode is I'm gonna let you share that. Okay. But okay, so you know, if we looked at rejection not as a reflection of like something that we're lacking or didn't deserve or we weren't worthy of having, but looked at rejection as a form of redirection. And think about that energy, like it's completely different. When you think about reject, you think like, oh, poor me, like this victim mentality.
It feels unchosen.
But then redirection,
baby, that's not your path. Let's go over here.
Right.
Yeah, that's a different type of energy.
It really is.
You know, you think of the energy that comes with redirection.
Right.
You know, there's excitement. There's anticipation. There is a new energy that comes with redirection. But again, perspective is everything. Is everything. So like Chrissy said,
man,
depending on the way I look at it like this, depending on where you're sitting at the table, your perspective is different.
Absolutely.
So Christy and I are sitting across from each other. So what I'm looking at, we're looking at the same thing. We're in the same room. But what she sees behind me and what's going on is different than the perspective that I'm giving, but we're in the same space.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Okay, so topics of discussion. Rejection is redirection. And I'm sure that everyone listening to this episode at some point in time can recall a moment or a period of life where you experienced rejection. And now I look at rejection differently. First of all, I don't even look at it as a rejection because I feel like rejection, again, comes with its own energy. But one of the first things now that I've learned is to not take it personal. Like, this isn't like you are a bad person, you did something wrong, or you're a failure. But honestly, sometimes things just happen. And it just, for me, the way that I look at it now, it just wasn't meant for me. You know, it's not my season. It's no longer like, oh, poor me. I was just like, okay.
You just said that. I wonder how many times we have to go through a lesson of rejection and understand that something just isn't for you. You're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. And how many times you gonna sit up there and try to smash this thing in there, shave down the sides, move it around to make it to make it fit? What has to happen? I'm serious, Chrissy. In your life, when you think about some of these rejection lessons that you've had to learn, how many times? I'm like, how?
So you said something.
Finally.
So you said something like fitting a square peg in a round hole. Think about how many relationships we have put ourselves in where we are trying to be that perfect match. Like, it's not for us. The relationship is not for us, but it's like, but let me just chisel. I'm gonna chisel off a little shine.
And if you think about it, if you're trying to put what you do, you're trimming off yourself.
Yes.
You trying when you trim off the side,
my goodness.
when you're trying to round off that square.
We are starting early in the episode. Yes.
Put that circle. Put that in that circle hole. You are trimming.
You are losing part of yourself.
Settling. You are deleting parts of yourself in order to fit into somebody else's. Oh, are you kidding me?
Nope.
So I know I went right into it because I really do. And I asked that question of you because as you were speaking, I thought about that in myself. Like, damn, how many times would I need to learn a couple of lessons? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But I will say this. This is one of those lessons that it may take you some time to really understand that rejection. When you moving and walking in a way that is truthful and honest with who you are, anything that is rejected in your life was not meant to be in your life.
Oh yeah.
And so
absolutely,
you feel comfortable in that when you when you're walking in your God self, when you are walking in your free self. When
I
you're
agree.
Just like, oh, I thought this is what, but hold on. I trust myself that wrote this story. I trust my spiritual team. I trust Spirit has my back.
Yep.
Maybe it's not my time or my season. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And there is a freaking reason for that. So, and maybe that reason is something better is coming.
There you go.
Come on now.
Because honestly, like, I'm sure you can probably think of a situation where you might have wanted something like really, really bad, and then something crazy happened, the door shut, and then you thought it was the end of the world, and then all of a sudden this whole new door opened up for you. You're like, wait, and I'm over here complaining?
Man, let me tell you something. Oh! There has been a few times in my life where I have looked back and said, oh, bitch, you dodged a bullet.
Right.
You know that new track on IG? A win is a win. A win is a win. I mean, I have looked back on. Oh, ho, ho. Remember the friend that Jason and I know alike? Who went to school with Jason?
Oh, yeah.
That was a rejection. That was a redirection.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm slow.
Can't even. You guys, no, seriously. Sometimes, and depending on where you are in your life, and remember, relationships are mirrors anyway, right?
They really are.
So if it's a rejection of a relationship, that means that was not in alignment with who and what you were. But the thing is, you needed to see, like, baby, you above that,
right?
And when I say above, not better. I'm just gonna keep it real funky with you. When I say above, it's not necessarily better because I'm not making a judgment. I mean, it's beneath me. I am not walking. It does not deserve space walking and standing next to me. I have climbed over that, and you know, again, it's not that it's better. It's just that's just not where I'm no longer in that space anymore. So It doesn't belong here.
So I was gonna say that sometimes things are not in alignment with where you need to go.
Everything bag lady.
Right. Everything happens for a reason.
Hurt your back.
And this takes us to the next point. Honestly, sometimes these rejections, like you were saying, it can be a blessing. Because I think about, think about situations where you wanted to be with someone and then you found, oh, this actually happened to me. And I might have shared this story with you. This guy in high school that I wanted to be with so bad. I'll just say A. And then, excuse me. She has me. I'm over here drinking this good wine. Anyway, and I wanted this boy so bad. Anyway, this other girl got him. Or he cheated on. No, so we were together. Oh my goodness, now I'm starting to remember. We were together. He was a junior. I think I was a sophomore. Yeah, I was a sophomore. We were together. He cheated on me with this girl. And, you know, the girls want to fight. I'm like, I'm not one of those. No, you can have him. Because if I have
That's
to,
yours, baby.
right, like I don't need to do
like,
that.
That's not for me.
And girl, he beat the hell out of her. It got all around the school. Like she would come to school with black eyes. I mean, it was bad.
That's, you know what? Real. Honestly, I can say when I look at anything from a career standpoint, from a relationship standpoint, anything that I can really, because I really thought about this earlier today. I can say this with clarity and surety. Anything that was rejected out of my life or that I got a rejection from to this day, every last thing was for the better for me. It was a freaking blessing.
I agree.
When I look back, and I there are a couple of things. Oh my goodness, man, what was that job? I wanted so bad. Oh my goodness, what I knew, and you know how when you interview for a job, this is years ago, you interview for a job, and you're like down to the last, so you're like, I know I got this. I remember, I don't want to say the company name, but I was crushed. boy. When I tell you,
blessing.
That was a blessing, because what I did end up getting, I got more money.
There you go.
I got more money. I was responsible for more. It was just such a better position for me to be in. But that rejection, just it would get you down for a minute. But you guys, you got to think, especially if you have put in the work to manifest something beautiful in your life for the good of yourself and the harm to none, and something doesn't come to fruition the way that you wanted to, you got to stop and pause and think, like, it ain't no way. Okay, thank you. I'm waiting. Just say thank you, because you know your blessing is coming. But if you've been on some bullshit, look,
we were just talking about this.
Like, for real. I know this is a tangent, but for real, all money ain't good money.
Nope.
So there are times in my life where I have, like, no, I'm not going to take that, because I know it's something else attached to that I don't want every freaking time. And people be like, girl, you out your mind. I'm like, Nope, because I got a blessing on my life to let me know, baby, that's not, trust me, I know. I know right now you think you want that, but it's not right for you. And every time something is on some bullshit, a lick, and I'd be like, and I'm saying no every freaking time, I have saved my motherfucking ass. Seriously.
Listen to that gut.
So I have to listen to me. Something better is coming along the way. There's a lesson. There's a blessing in patience.
Yes, there is.
There's such a lesson in blessing in patience. Oh my goodness.
And trust.
Because when you trust what's coming, but it's the blessing is beyond your imagination.
It really is.
Because you trusted in you. Man, gone. Look, I'm not even.
I know, it really is. And then
every time.
And I think it's really hard to put that trust in ourselves and know that everything's going to be okay. Because, again, the way that we are set up as humans, we don't necessarily allow ourselves to be in the present moment. We are constantly either in the past or we are in the future, which will fuck things up.
And think about it. The only thing you have is now.
Right. In the present moment, like the now, one, this will never happen again. And then two, this is where the magic happens.
Right
when
now.
You are present. Because if you want to move forward in your life, you can't just keep in the past, well, you did, and holding on to grudges and not forgiving. You have to let that shit go.
And even if not for them, for yourself.
For yourself.
Because if you think about, honestly, you guys, when we have been traumatized in certain situations or been in a painful or challenging relationship situation, or even at work, you guys, because I'm telling you, it has been, I have been tried at the office.
If I were to tell you about what I've been dealing with, well, you know.
Yeah. So it's so, when you, But every time.
Yeah.
Every time. I didn't even finish my sentence. There's a lesson and a blessing in those challenges. There's something that happens
Always.
in that pain. But when we hold on to it, it's like you're allowing yourself to relive the pain instead of getting the lesson.
Right. And that's why a lot of people have a hard time facing themselves.
Yes. Come on, man, because if you just keep reliving it over and over and over again, and this is the other thing.
And I got a question for you. Remind me the question.
Okay. We forget how energy works. So if I come and something horrible happens to me, right? And I'm so upset, and then I tell you, and then I tell another person, and then tell another person. I'm spreading that energy around because then they're going to go tell somebody. It's like I'm forcing the energy to keep coming back and face me.
And this is why I'm very particular with the type of stuff that I watch, that I involve myself into, even gossip. Like
who you tell your business.
Exactly.
To. Real talk.
Because energy.
Somebody's gonna say, "Hey, okay, we're gonna stop this right here. Let's handle this right here. We're not gonna pass that forward." You know what I mean? Like somebody has. You gotta have good people around you. But anyway, what was your question?
Okay, so let me ask you. I'm sorry, y'all. These blueberries.
She over there.
I feel like a little squirrel stealing some blue. Anyway, how many clients have you had? Maybe Reiki clients, or your coaching clients. How many clients have you had who continue to follow the cycle? Like they repeat it over and over again, and it's like you have to do the work.
I honestly, I can.
How many?
I can say 2. I can really say 2. I'm going to tell you why. I think that sometimes people do come in with the expectation that they don't have to do anything.
Or that you're going to do it.
I'm going to do the work for them. Mm-hmm. And it's just like,
no,
I'm carrying the light through the tunnel so you can see. Mm-hmm. And that's how I need you to see me. I got you. I'm gonna carry the light so you can see the path, the way.
Right.
But I'm not about to slay that dragon.
You got to do that.
You got to slay your own dragon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I help you sharpen your weapon. Just so there. But I do make it clear, like I can't do that for you because you have to own it. You know what I mean? Like just like everybody has to do their own work.
So maybe you haven't had
people.
A lot of
I've only
clients.
had 2 people that I'm just like, you really, and honestly, it hurts a little bit to see that you really don't want to do this for yourself.
Right.
Like you right here, and then especially when you can see the God in them, you're like, do you know what you are? And
you're choosing otherwise.
Man, free will is a motherfucker. Let me tell you that. I don't know why people don't think free will is will. It's real. It is like you can see it.
Even the idea of being a victim, like I'm powerless. I can't change. I'm sorry, these crackers, y'all. Yeah. There's nothing else I can do. This is how I was. I was born this way. I've always dealt with this. I can't change it. You absolutely can. You're just choosing not to. But that's okay.
I shouldn't say always because that's not true. There was a point in my life that I cannot pinpoint where I understood when people say that this is just how I am. That's a cop out that they don't want to deal with their bullshit.
Yep. I just realized that too.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
I'm today years old.
Right? It's a cop out that people. You just don't want to deal with your own bullshit. So I was made this way. That takes the accountability off of yourself.
Right.
It's my parents did this.
It's like Christians saying.
I was raised. Like that is fucking bullshit. Because at some point in your life, you get to make a decision on how you want to think, feel, and be. And this is what you're deciding at this point.
It's like Christians saying, I'll pray for you. That's how I feel. And
don't pray for me. I'm cool. I'm not even trying to be funny. Don't.
It's like sometimes people don't need that. They need action.
I need you to come in agreement with me.
Right.
But don't speak over my life. Sorry.
But something else, too, as far as, when you were in a space in your life and a rejection happens, realize that everything happens in divine timing. And that's something that we have to realize. Like, time is man-made.
Man, let me tell you something. I am in smack dab in the middle of learning even more divine timing and divine order. I mean, smack dab in the middle of it. So, I can be honest. When you are manifesting and working, and I mean, honestly, when committed and disciplined, honestly, I'm talking about me, and I'm just like, what is going on? I don't understand this. And you keep hearing divine timing. Like, all right now, like, trust this. Trust what you created. Trust it. Just watch it unfold. Get back into a place of observation. That's when I feel like I can't take it, when things are getting, it's like, what is going on? I have to step back and be an observer of the movie. I have to get out the movie and start watching it. So I can kind of change my perspective, change my seat at the table. Like, oh, okay, wait. Now I'm above the table. Oh, much better. I can see what's going on now.
Are you all catching this?
Right.
Like, you all catching it.
But
we went in kind of fast, too.
We did. So so divine timing. So what I'm learning is, like you said, time, the way that we look at it, is a human construct. There's just something that's something that we created in 3D. It does not really exist in the way that we know that it does.
And as humans, we want to control that. Like, well, no, it's supposed to happen at this time.
Divine timing. Think of, when you think about the spiral, Jacob's ladder. When you think about the spiral, back to self going in. So it's a spiral. It's not a linear line, right? So as you're coming through your spiral back to the center of who you are, to your God self, think of going along that spiral as lessons, and tests, and knowing yourself.
Ooh, so and that spiral goes deeper and deeper.
Yes.
Okay.
So the spiral is not. So you can't look at it as time, the way we look at it. Divine timing is connected to your divine growth and expansion. So you got the lesson, and the quicker you get your lessons, the quicker your time goes. So this is why I no longer play. When I see it's a lesson in front of me, I'm like, oh, we're going to do this right now.
Right now.
Right now, we're going to do this. So
because you also don't want to repeat it.
Absolutely not. So think about, the more you repeat lessons in your life, and I have done this several times in my life, over and over and over and over again, you are slowing down your, I'm air quoting, time.
Right.
Do you know? So
your purpose,
you're slowing down, getting back to center yourself, where you're sitting back in the middle of smack dab in the middle of who you are in your royal seat. And conducting your life from there. But you got to get more deeper into who you are. So the divine order and timing is related to how deep you are and willing to get with yourself. It has absolutely fucking nothing to do with time. Because your question is going to go from when am I going to make my first million to when am I going to be fulfilled and my mission in this place. Because when you are fulfilling your mission in this place, the reason that you decided to come down here, all that other shit comes in. So easily.
Can I say something? Those are two different perspectives, but the outcome can still be the same.
Absolutely, you're right.
So again, it's all about perspective, which I think is really great. And excuse us, I don't even think we're at 30 minutes yet, and I feel like we've gone deep. Blame it on the wine.
But so the reason that I wanted to go just kind of unpack divine timing is because when you are in the middle of what I'm referring to as lessons, and someone says to you, like, man, trust divine timing, you kind of want to smack them across their face. Man, if you don't shut the fuck up.
Right.
Hey, look, you know what I mean?
Because this is now.
Because we're feeling like, and this is real, y'all. We're feeling like we're supposed to be at a certain point, or something is supposed to have happened by a certain time. But if we trust divine timing, it'll stop and say, there's a reason that this hasn't happened yet.
Exactly.
There's a reason for this. Because I know I know who I am. I know who I created. So the fact that this isn't happening, I need to stop acting like a fool,
trust,
and trust that it's coming. That's when you are allowing yourself to live in divine timing, not
that's key, y'all.
3D timing.
That is key. And then also, like, considering what we were discussing earlier, you know, think of rejection as a way of protection.
You know, they have it's a lot of there's a lot of conversation. You know, rejection. My rejection was God's protection. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's even a couple of Bible verses that talk about this. But if we were to take using the definition of God that is outside of yourself for the purpose of the analogy, so when this God tells you no, or you don't get what it is that you are trying to manifest, or the desire of your heart, when you see it as you're protecting me from harm. So I could think of so many unfortunate tragedies that have happened in our lives where there were people who did, you know what, E2, you remember E2 in Chicago?
Yes.
When everybody got caught in the club? Mm-hmm. There were people out standing outside of that club
trying to get in,
who couldn't get in.
Right.
They got rejected.
Think about I had a friend or somebody who was supposed to have gotten a job in the World Trade Center before they got hit.
They got rejected.
And
that was their protection.
Right.
So sometimes our spirit team, your highest self is protecting you from yourself. Mm-hmm. It's like, hold on, you don't see. If you open that door, I know it's a gold door. It's shiny and twinkly. Oh, and everybody wants that door, but I'm telling you,
this isn't for you.
That door is not for you. But no, please, I want it. Let me just open it. I'm trying to tell you. And then you see somebody go through the door, like, they stole it. That was, oh no, you good, boo?
Right. No, thank you.
Just kidding.
I'm good.
A win is a win.
I'm good.
So, and honestly, those are the times that in life where we get to see, like, do you see how you were just protected? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh!
I mean, think about the time.
Like, thank you so much for that rejection. Oh, honey.
Dodged the ball on that one.
Baby, a ball.
Yeah.
I have dodged some.
Think about the people.
I say thank you.
So you guys, I've been okay. So now that I'm living with my partner, he has a TV. I got caught up in the whole Dahmer thing.
I was waiting. Let me tell y'all something. I knew as soon as Christy was in front of the TV with the Netflix, baby, it's over. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Marilyn Monroe, that one.
Oh my goodness.
But the stuff that I'm interested in is so interesting. Anyway.
Oh my. That's what I say. Yeah, you're about to have your good little time.
But, like, think about the people who maybe met him that evening, you know, and was just like, yeah, no, thank you. That's not right for me. Like, no thanks.
Or, I got one even better. Imagine you meet him and you are attracted to him and he is not interested.
Wow.
You turn on the TV a couple of years later and be like, man, I remember. That's the
Ooh,
dude in
yep.
the damn bar that I thought was so cute. Wait, he eats people? Rejection was your protection.
Yes. But another thing, I mean, if you all haven't seen it, I'm okay. So I
can't watch it. I can't.
So I was a psychology major, and so the way that people's behavior, man, people watching, if I could do that as a full-time job.
I agree 110%.
I love observing human behavior.
Yep.
Why for me it's all about, well, why did you do that? Why have you been saying the same thing for the last 2-3 years and not making changes? Like, for me, it's all about human behavior that interests me. So I notice on Netflix, I'm into those type of shows, like the comedy stuff. Yeah, comedy's cool, but I want to know about people, like what made them do what they did. Anyway, I can talk about that forever, but something else is for rejection is sometimes I think rejection is a test. You know, like okay, you say that this is what you wanted. What are you willing to sacrifice to have this?
How hard are you willing? So when I look at it spiritually, because you know me, I'm always bringing it back. What energy are you willing to give in order for that energy to return to you?
Correct.
You have to put something out.
There has to be an exchange.
So
yes.
there has to be an exchange. So when I think about rejection, like passing the test, I think about writers, right? Or inventors, where, you know, writers, they can send in manuscripts and get rejected after rejection after. All it takes is one acceptance. But there are writers who their process is to get rejected at least 100 times, because every time they get better.
Yeah.
They see the upgrading through failure. So when the publishers are saying no, 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 you're just getting better and better and more refined in understanding, because that's the test. This is what you really want. Well,
Right.
let us make sure that you really got some stake in this, or this isn't a fly by night type
Right.
of thing for you.
What are you willing to sacrifice?
Are you willing to be the best at this, or you just want to come? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you just want to come in here and see what this is? But if you're saying that this is what you are and who you are,
Show
you're going to
me.
be tested.
Right.
You're going to test yourself spiritually. You're going to test yourself to see if you have the endurance, or if you're going to try to spiritually bypass. I mean, I think about inventors. How many times they fail?
The patents.
And patents, and, you know, and they just and they get rejected after rejected, and then all it takes is one time for you to understand and see a taste of the glory of what you can make, and it's on from there. But because you have been rejected so many times, those are like hot spots on the ground that you know not to walk on. And someone who hasn't been rejected, they don't necessarily know, no, if you go down that way, step on there, it's a mine over there, and it's a mine over there. I have walked across this field and been blown up 100 times. I can get across this field now.
Yeah.
With no problems. I can come back and forth across the field. But if I had not been rejected or failed, aka blown up on those mines, I wouldn't know. And I'd be
That's
walking through that thing
us.
scared.
That's us.
Yeah.
The stuff
So,
that we've gone through.
Whew.
And sharing it.
You pass when you pass the test, you learn a new test, you share the new test. Now I'm clearing out the field.
And also think about it. So when you're being tested, what is being tested? Is it your patience? Is it your faith? Is it your desire, your gratitude? And, you know, figure that out.
Okay, so what do you think, Christy, is when you think about your test that you could do, like, in, you know, what is your median being? What is your median in terms of what are you being tested on?
What do you mean?
Like, is it more of your patience? Is it more of your
I see.
desire, your gratitude, your faith, your...
I'm going to say it is patience and desire. More so patience.
When I think about... Whew, when I think about my lessons the most, I think it's faith.
Faith.
Faith in me, yeah. I have found that I am unbelievably patient. I didn't know how patient I was when it came to creating and manifesting, and like, I'm patient with myself about that.
Really?
I didn't know I was. It's the faith in knowing that what I created and desires, I'm worthy of it. It's the faith of knowing to step out on myself, that like you gotta know, sweetie, if you step off that cliff, you
Right.
like, you gotta know who you are, baby. It's a cloud waiting to carry you off, but it's that faith that I get my faith. I test my faith a lot when I know it's time for. Once I'm on the other side of the lesson, I'm like, oh, there's another one of those faith lessons. I just expand it. That one is that one's for me is the hard one.
Yeah.
Which brings up the next, living in faith. Living in faith. So
It ain't always easy.
no, I'm telling you, this is often.
It's like a muscle you have to work out.
Yes. Ooh, yes.
It's hard.
Yes, Christy, yes. And the more you have faith in yourself, the easier it becomes. That is so true, Christy.
And then, you know, when you take a break from the gym for like 2 weeks, a month, and then it's like that first time back.
Breathe. Can't even breathe.
Ooh, that's how that is. Like when you
left off on them 20-pound dumbbells, you come back. Do you have a two?
Right. What about a 1.5 pound?
You know, matter of fact, can I just have a soup can?
Right. But it's the same with patience. Like we can get into a good groove with ourselves, like or living in faith, just having that faith, and it's easy. But man, when you take that break, it's hard.
So, when you want something, we have a tendency to put all of our energy towards whatever that is.
I know I do.
But then when we're being redirected through rejection, and come on, y'all know how this feels. Like you feel like I wasted my motherfucking time.
Right.
I put all this energy into this. I did everything right, and I still didn't happen the way that I thought it would or wanted it to. I was rejected. It's important to live your life in the faith that you were redirected for a purpose. You have to know that your seeds are growing. So that's why we have to detach ourselves from the expectation of what it is that you want, how it's coming to you.
Right.
Release the how and just know that.
Okay, so let me go back real quick. Did you all understand or like connect the energy that went with both ways? So the rejection, it's like, you know, the energy falls, the energy decreases, but the redirection, the energy is, again, there's this excitement with it. I mean, I really hope that you all are getting this. Like, it's...
I mean, these people are geniuses. They got it.
Yes, y'all are goddesses and gods.
So you have to remember that when you live in faith, when you have faith in who you are, you can very easily adjust the rejection to redirection.
Right.
Because you have faith in what you created and who you are and what you came to do. So if it didn't come how you thought it was going to come, guess what you know? It's coming.
And it's that faith.
And it's
again, that's that bringing the energy up.
For your great, and it's for your greatest good. So that, to me, the best way to help with understanding the rejection is a redirection, is your protection, is when you have faith in yourself.
Oh, you got bars.
Bars.
But no, it's true. Like, honestly, when you, and again, I keep saying this because I feel like I have to bang it into my head too. But when you come across a situation, you say, okay, well, it's just not the divine time, or it's not divine time, or, you know, I'm being redirected for a purpose. The energy is completely different versus, nothing good ever comes to me.
Ooh.
I should have known.
Christy.
I knew this was going to happen.
I knew this was going to happen.
I knew this is what I expected.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Right. I'm not surprised. Like, completely different energy.
Yes.
Going back to it goes to perspective.
You're right, Christy.
Or even like, okay, well, you know, sometimes we are redirected because things just aren't for us. And I think this also requires some discernment on ourselves too, or with ourselves, like really understanding, okay, that really wasn't for me. Again, I'm trying to be this square peg, trying to fit into this circle. Sometimes things aren't for us, and we open our eyes and we get wise, or we're just like, oh shit,
wait,
what am I doing?
Can we talk about that though?
Yes.
Or can we talk about that moment when you realize something's not for you? The freedom, the peace that surpasses all understanding. You're like,
you guys, I swear I could just... I could breathe.
Waiting to exhale, baby.
I can just breathe. When I finally decided, where I was in a space where I was going to go ahead and just, you know, I decided to leave my first marriage. I really tried. I tried. Things got physical.
I tried.
I really tried. But then when I finally said, you know what? I'm good. The amount of good sleep I was able to get.
I'm gonna tell you.
The bed never felt so good.
Let me tell you. For real, you guys.
I used to lose sleep over this person.
There is something in
Lose sleep.
coming to the conclusion and understanding that I will be good goddamn if I let somebody disturb my motherfucking peace.
Damn.
Not near again.
Especially
Not near.
when you work so hard for it.
Thank you.
It's different.
Like, are you kidding? And that's why you and
I will fight you.
I was about to say to all of our clients and to all my healers out here, this is why your healers can't do the work for you. This is why, you know what I mean? Because you wanna, that's yours. When it's yours, it's like Chris said,
You have
I
to
will
do the
fight
work.
You. Like I will be good. Goddamn, you think I'm about to just listen my
Think about
start this
you
peace
done
and
dug
goodness and happiness and joy.
You gone out.
Absolute. Hey, stop.
You dug a moat. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Man, you built up the bricks. You with your bare
With
hands.
your
You
bare
did it yourself.
hands.
You dug out the dirt for the water to come through,
Brick
and then
mortar. You did the damn thing, and you think somebody gonna come over there and try to knock down what you put together brick by brick?
Nope.
That's when you. Hey, that's when I am the epitome. Fuck around and find out.
Oh yeah, you don't wanna. No.
Fuck around and find out. You will not touch not near a brick on here.
No.
It's my sweat over there, but I did this by hand. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I will fight you. Like you guys have done it
That's why
at work.
you gotta do your own work.
Right.
Oh.
At work, you like, no. I will take credit for this. I worked too hard.
I put in the time. Like, what?
Nope.
Whew.
Excuse me. Nope.
Snatch all my this.
Nope.
Yeah, that.
And sometimes it's not good for us.
Yeah.
We want it so bad, but I do say, okay, I will speak for myself. Sometimes the sign is there, but we choose to ignore it.
Yes.
We know something's not good for us. We know when something's not right. We can feel it. Like there's just no denying.
But we wanted to so bad.
And it's like sometimes we chase the thrill. You know, sometimes we say that we don't want the drama, but deep down inside,
we do.
Sometimes we do. We want a little color in our lives. You know, a little dippy dip.
Your lips.
I wish you all could see her lips. Her new season.
I mean, because honestly, again, spirit doesn't discern between emotional high and emotional low.
No.
It's the, you know what I mean?
It's just
like
emotion.
Anger or happiness or joy. The vibration that the vibration.
Yeah,
the
there you go.
frequency of the vibration. The vibration of an emotion does feel a quiver through. So puts a quiver through the universe, right? And so it allows spirit to feel something. So they feel you guys, we're so blessed in this realm to be able to feel everything. So it feels, but here we judge things good and bad.
Right.
But when we have a team that is experiencing it with us, it's just like, it's like a wave that comes through and they feel it in a different way when they're with us. So they don't discern good or bad. Right. So sometimes even in our spiritual selves, because remember, we're just a spiritual being having a human experience. Subconsciously, we like the drama sometimes because it feels good.
The thrill.
It's like an orgasm.
The excitement.
It's an energetic orgasm. Sometimes.
I feel like I'm watching a movie.
Ooh, yes, you see, you get all excited. You grab the popcorn. It's just like, oh my goodness, look at it. So when we don't judge it, we see it differently. But I'm telling you, it's something to feel in that. So Christy's right. Sometimes we do like a little seasoning.
Sometimes
in our lives.
we do.
I mean,
sometimes we do want a dude like, you know.
That was fun.
Leave a little marky mark.
Yeah, I'm about to throw this microphone at Chris.
It's her fault. She has me drinking wine.
Oh, that's what it is. Yes.
It's her fault. Okay, so how have you dealt with rejection? Okay, so let's talk about how old Mia
I'm like,
dealt with rejection, but let's talk about how new Mia also deals with rejection.
Okay. I can be honest and say that in every aspect of my life, except in relationship and love, rejection was an inspiration for me. Rejection would be something and be like, I told you, I'm the epitome of fuck around and find out. Rejection was something that would make me the reason why I'm about to be the coldest motherfucker up in here. And everything except love.
Interesting.
And love, rejection folded me. I mean, it just knocked the air out of me. A puddle. It was, I know, like I said, I know, well, I think we've had this conversation. I know for a fact that, relationships are mirrors, and the way I came in, I chose to get so many of my lessons back to self was through relationship. Was through, and that's love, familial, friendship. Like, no.
I mean, that's we choose this.
Yeah. So I know, so in any other aspect, rejection, it was something else about it.
You're like, okay.
I
can show you better than I can tell you.
But relationship, no.
Okay, so about now?
Today.
Yes, let's talk about
the way that I view love and what I'll call rejection, I see it all as a mirror. It's like I see myself in that. So if it's not what it is that I like or want it to be or what I believe and know that I deserve, that means I'm telling myself, that means that I still have limits that I'm holding on to myself. Because if I was flowing on the right frequency of who the fuck I really am, this type of bullshit wouldn't even be able to come close to me. Right. So that means you still got some bullshit in you that you need to work out. You still have some lies that you are telling yourself. So that's how I see it now.
Isn't that interesting?
It's different now. Now I'm like, wait a minute, this got to be something going on with me, baby. What like we say, like, what are you doing, Mia?
Yeah.
Like, what? Why is this? That there are certain things now in my life that are just no longer tenable.
So interesting.
Will not,
all of our experiences.
Shall not, cannot, all of that. Just no, not negative. So when I am standing in my full self and I can look at love and relationship and say, one of these kids is doing its own thing, it doesn't match. That means that I don't, like, you're just a mirror. So that's how I look at it now. It's different. Yeah. It's different. I mean, in friendship and family.
And not as much stress too, right? Do you still feel the same stress?
Oh, no. Yeah. Absolutely not. No. I mean, it's almost like watching, it's almost like watching your child act up. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you know what I mean? Kind of, and you know how animals look at you, they turn their head to the side, like, kind of really look at you. That's how. So because I see myself and my relationships and my friendships and in everything, especially as it comes to love, because I know that I am love. So when love is a vibration, and when it's vibrating on a frequency that is not in agreement with who I am, that means there is some place in my body that is in agreement with that frequency, and I need to go figure out what that is and work on that and bring it to match the frequency that I am currently on with the rest of my body. So how about you, Christy? Then
interesting.
And now,
yeah, please remind me because I'll probably forget. Y'all, my brain these days has been a little wild. So I guess back then, rejection. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be very honest. I really didn't experience rejection until I became a dancer. Because I feel like everything that I've wanted to do, I've always been able to do, but I honestly did not. I remember the first time I got rejected, I was flabbergasted.
You're like, I don't even understand what you're
like,
talking
I didn't understand. And I remember, I was auditioning for this choreographer. I'm not going to say his name. This was when I was dancing in New York. And this was a choreographer who was well known. Everyone wanted to work with. And I remember in the audition, his stuff was hard. And I got it, but I felt like he was favoring certain people. So I was just like, I don't know. I didn't get it. I remember when they were posting our names, I was walking up to the list and everyone's like, did you get it? Did you get it? I'm looking at the list. They're like, I said, no, I didn't get it.
Oh my God, to walk up to a list back in the day, baby. Woo!
And then my friend's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to, be in rehearsal with you. I'm not in rehearsal. I didn't get it. What do you mean you didn't get it? I didn't get it. I have never been so crushed.
Why do I feel that? I'm on my... I feel you, Chrissy.
But then I also, as hard, like as hurtful as it was for me, I realized that I needed it because I never really experienced it. Like, things have always just been like, here you go, here you are.
Christy, that's a word. I'm going to tell you. I remember the first time Jay tried out for something. What was it? And didn't get it. The first time she didn't get something. I mean, she was devastated. And I was sad for her, but I was secretly happy. Because I needed her to learn how to handle that.
That's so important.
This is character building.
And honestly, right, because during that time I realized, I was like, wow. Because I had this attitude, like, how dare he not choose me? But then it's almost like someone tapped me on the shoulder, like, wait, hold on. And I was thinking, it's just like, you haven't experienced this before. You never felt like rejected in this way. If there was a boy that you liked, he could like you back. If there was something you wanted, you could get it. It wasn't a problem. But I never felt that, and I needed to.
Yeah.
And I worked through it. I mean, of course it sucked, especially like walking past the studio and seeing everyone doing this amazing choreography that I couldn't do. And then, these other dancers that you didn't feel were as talented were in there. You were kind of hating a little bit, but it's okay. I need to let that go.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
I'm fine. Now I feel like I'm still working through things, but now I realize, if it's for me, it's for me. And if it is for me, then why am I stressing? Like, I always, when I'm walking my dog,
come on, baby,
I look at the birds and the squirrels and the other animals out there that are eating and are thriving. They're not on the corner begging. And they kind of walk around with this faith, this knowing that everything it is what it is. Right. And everything they need will be
provided for.
Yes.
Baby. Honestly, you guys, one of the most powerful things that I heard somebody say, and I really wish I could remember where I heard this. The best thing that you need to know is when you wake up in the morning, you have everything you need. When you open your eyes, if you are still here, breathing this air, you have everything you need. And it took me a while to really feel and understand that. When I started to understand that I have everything I need, and I was like, I got it.
And sometimes it's not what we think it's supposed to look like.
Man, that's why I said sometimes it's important to drop the expectation of how something is coming to you, but know that it's coming. So there's this knowingness, like I say this all the time because I like to reaffirm myself sometimes and what it is that I am creating, and I just say out loud, because I surrender, because I have faith in me. I'll just say out loud, I don't know how, I just know that.
Right.
The place I got now, Chrissy, I said that. I was like, I don't know how, I just know that.
Right.
I'm done with it.
But
I'm done with it now.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, and I hope that I can.
After I've already spoke my manifestation.
So is it okay, so even though it's not quote unquote packaged the way you may have expected,
Yes.
are the feelings that you had when you were manifesting still the same?
Yes. And every time I'm surprised. Like, damn, okay. Like, wow. Actually,
did you all get that?
I thought it was. Every time.
Did you get that?
Every time. I mean,
No one's talking to you.
Oh,
Be open. Because sometimes
I'm speechless when I think about it. I can't even.
And it's less money?
It's when I think about just so many but there's so many things in my life that are like that. And it's just like I need this, I want this, I desire this, and it moves from the energy that I want to feel. And so when I started looking at individual things, it's like, this is how I see my life, and I visualize what my life looks like, how I feel when I wake up in the morning, how my home smells. Like I'm very, Kristen knows, I'm very visual. I'm
not.
I just like,
I'm
all
not.
of this shit matters to me, all of it. So when
But you
I
do it well.
have that image in my head, that's what I'm creating. I detach from how. It has to be, no. It's because I know that I'm the creator. So that right there.
But that's something to talk about too, because I think a lot of us who are out there manifesting, we're too caught up in that how and not just allowing it to just.
And what's your intention behind it? What are you doing this for? I'll tell you this: the minute we stop doing things for other people. And when I say for other people, I mean for other eyeballs. When you're creating something, like, wait till I show these
Right. The intention's off.
The intention's off. It's like, what about you? And you'll find that when you think about some of the more, like successful people in life, think about, okay, let's just go with celebrities. You'll find that once they've reached a certain level of success and celebrity, they kind of keep to themselves, because they start to understand the energy. When you turn on a light that's bright, everything is coming towards you. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we don't know what it is that we're asking for. So that's why we need to be very intentional. So when people say, I want to be famous, I want everybody to know me, you can be one, what do you call it, someone who is known. Like, you can be, what is it, you can be renowned. Mm. You can be, someone who people know for, Al Capone. A lot of people know who he is. He was known. Mm-hmm. So be very careful. Is what it is that you're doing because you want people to see you, or is it because you are aware of how you want to feel about your life? If what you are manifesting, here's a great question. Hold on, because look, I'm like, this is right, Bradley. Tell him. This is it.
No, don't tell him.
Okay, wait, sorry. Here's the question that you need to ask yourself. Ask yourself if what you are currently manifesting, if you were able to receive it and nobody knew, and they said you can have it here, this is exactly what you manifest, but nobody will ever know and nobody will see it, but you'll have exactly what you want. Would you still want it?
Yeah.
So that will force you to say, wait, what am I actually trying to manifest? So when people say, I want to be famous and I want to be well known, like, come back to yourself, because that's you putting the spotlight and importance on something outside of you. Come back to, this is how I want to feel when I wake up in the morning. This is how I want to feel when I look at my life. How I want to smile and love and have joy. And if you can take other people outside of you and your family or whatever, not seeing it, and that's something that you really still want, that means it's coming from your authentic self. It's for you. It's not for somebody else.
Yeah.
It's something to think about. Okay, Christy, what's your takeaway?
Something to think about. Wait, hold on. Did I ever talk about how I feel about rejection now?
No, you didn't.
Okay. Don't ask me how I remembered that.
I'm so glad you did.
So now when things don't work out, it's like, okay, it's just not meant for me. Or now it's not the season. Or I'll ask my guys, like, is this something that's really for me? And usually I'll get an answer like, girl, you're doing too much. Or no, just no. And I don't think it hasn't been an issue of like, oh, I'm really sad about it. I mean, maybe I'll have a moment where I'm sad, but I move on.
I mean,
I'm not stuck like I used to be. I'm not going to
say that disappointment doesn't exist.
Yeah, like I'm not stuck like I used to be.
Yes,
like I would be stuck.
Mm-hmm. That part. Yep.
I don't know how else to explain it, but I would just be stuck.
You're like, no, right there.
Like stuck. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway.
Okay, Christy, what's your takeaway?
My takeaway. My takeaway is to be open to redirection and be willing to shift your perspective. Because once you do that, everything shifts. Mm-hmm. For me, I don't want extra stress. I really don't. Like, I'm at a point in my life because I dealt with a lot of stress in my relationships. And I'm at a point in my life where I just want solace. I want peace. I want love. I want laughter. And I'm just not.
You can't break my soul.
Nope. I'm not with the shits, y'all.
Right. Babe, let me tell you, not Nera. Can't take my peace. It's like, it's just, no. I can't allow it. I understand. What she said, y'all, I'm with her on that one. So this is y'all temple work.
Oh, wait, what's your takeaway?
I'm in agreement with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm got you. So, really quickly, I want you guys in your next meditation session, because I know we are all enjoying our conversations, right? In God form. Okay, so allow yourself to go a little deeper and follow the path of something that you see or saw as a rejection in your life, and follow the path where you can see the blessing in that rejection, what you learned from that, how it redirected you to another path where you're like, if I never got that job, I wouldn't have stopped at that Starbucks and met this person, and now this is my business partner and we have a multi-million-dollar business. Like, these things happen all the time. I want you to think about just one, because you have several, I promise you, where the rejection,
thank you, Auntie,
altered your life in a way that catapulted or changed or altered what you were doing, and now you understand, man, look at this. I want you to see the beauty in the failure, the beauty in the no, and the beauty in why you can have faith in yourself moving forward. Just allow yourself to meditate deeply on that. It's really a beautiful thing. That is our temple work. Christy, what's our crystal of the week? Well, actually, this is with a stone. Actually, what would you call this? I'm going to let you handle it.
I mean, I think the reason why it's considered like in the mineral family is because it's the way that the molecules are set up or something. Like, it has structure. Mm-hmm. But so we'll call it stone instead of crystal. It's petrified wood. And the element is earth. I mean, that makes sense. It's good for the chakra and the third eye. So this stone, it's a stone of roots, beginnings, and ancient knowledge. It helps with connecting you with gaining knowledge from one's ancient roots. I mean, if you think about like a tree and its roots really digging into the ground, and it basically, petrified wood is said to embody the spirit in physical form. And it also helps us to learn lessons of being embodied and conscious spirit on the earth plane. It also helps you to recognize that the earth provides everything we need. And faith. It can also help you overcome limiting emotional patterns handed down from our ancestors. And think about the emotional patterns that we continue to replay over, like we said earlier, over and over and over and over again. So that is the stone of the week. Mia, what is the message of the day?
Okay, guys, we are coming to a close. I want to talk about, because we were talking about lessons and understanding the redirection or the protection in rejection. So
Be very honest.
when you have a failure or you are feeling rejected, it's like a breaking. It's painful. But what I want you guys to start considering is, in order for you to expand, you need to break. In order for more of your God self to be in your 3D self, you have to expand. So think of it as spiritual expansion. Think about like puberty. I used to call it spiritual puberty. You know, when you have puberty, you're getting taller, your voice is changing, all these things are happening, you're getting pimples, your body parts are doing things they didn't do before, they're starting to smell different.
Preach.
Think about that spiritually. But these things are happening to you so that you can come into your adult self. So same thing happens to you spiritually at different times and cycles in your life where you are becoming a spiritual adult. You're going through a spiritual maturity. But in order for that to happen, the puberty has to happen. The breaking has to happen. And so what happens when you allow yourself to understand and feel the break and not do a spiritual bypass, but hold yourself spiritually accountable and honest with yourself about who you are and what you've done to come to this space, you move different.
Yep.
You talk different. So every time that you have broken yourself, that I have broken myself to expand, I've filled myself in more with the spirit of who and what I am. I have filled myself in more with the Christos, with the inner self. So that is what's filling me up because I have more space now. I keep getting bigger. I keep expanding as I go deeper within myself. But you have to have the break. The lessons and the challenges are so very important. And we have to stop looking at them as if we're being punished.
Right.
Sometimes the lessons that we are going through is the way that our highest self is showing us, I got you and I love you. You know how we have this saying that says, God won't give you more than you can handle. Mm-hmm. Now I want you to think about, just think about that from the perspective of that you are your God. So this is where the faith comes in. You gotta trust. There's no freaking way I set myself up with something that I knew I could not handle. I am breaking to expand more into myself, more into my God self. And that's the faith in you. That's the faith in your spirit. That's the faith in your soul, your highest self. Mm-hmm. It's time to move different. Act funny. When you are having your challenge in your moment, stay out of other people's heads and making assumptions about what they think you're going through. This is for you. This is your growth. This is your elevation.
All about you.
This is your ascension. This is all for you. Mm-hmm. But you gotta have the break to happen. And that's when you are stepping in alignment with divine order and divine timing. Because that's the way the time moves, when you move through that break and into that expansion. So that's it, y'all. That's the message for the day. Yo,
I hope you got that, y'all.
Me too.
Hope you had those notebooks out. That was good. No, that really is. It is so true.
Me too.
That expansion, y'all, it's real.
Right.
It is time. It really is time.
Yeah.
Especially if you are in a place or you are in a position where you know better.
Man,
it's time.
That's when it and that honestly, when you know better,
stop playing
and
yourself.
You stop playing and you still playing with yourself, you're committing treason against yourself. I'm not committing treason against myself. Not near more.
But you'll be more pissed. You'll be more pissed at someone doing something to you than you are about you doing something to yourself.
Absolutely.
Which is so crazy. The more you know better, you do better. So thank you all for listening to this episode.
Thank you.
I hope you all really understood that, when you are in a place of rejection, it's not bad. There are many beautiful things that comes out of it. So don't automatically just take it to a woe is me type of thing. It's all good. Know that you would never put yourself in a position where you're failing.
Yes.
sometimes we are redirected for something better. And honestly, I feel like that is usually the case.
Baby, 99.9%.
Right. You know, it's like the rug doesn't get snatched under you just because. Sometimes it's to keep you from, getting hit on the head from a lamp or something.
You guys, how many people do you know in your life where they have had one rejection that hurt them that they are still holding on to and they're still acting in that space?
Still.
We all know at least one person. We're like, man,
I know a couple people.
you should have.
Man, when I was in high school,
would have hoped that you would move past, and they're still stuck in that space.
That cycle.
Because they refuse to stop telling themselves that lie.
Which is keeping them in the past.
They can't move forward because
they
you won't
cannot
accept.
Move forward.
You'll hold yourself. You know what? Okay.
It's all energy, y'all. The energy is like lost in the past. Anyway, thank you all for listening.
Woo, please, yes.
Yeah. This was a good discussion.
Yeah.
For me. I mean, even though with the wine I'm a little tipsy. What are we drinking today?
Love Pinot Noir.
Mayomi.
Mayomi.
Pinot Noir. This is good, actually.
It is delicious.
It's very delicious. Oh, and I think we need to send a shout out to Jill. She gave us a donation. I mean, she did the Buy Me Coffee.
Oh, someone else bought us coffee, too.
Really?
I think so.
Thank you all for your support, you all. Because honestly, like, by the time we meet for the podcast, we've worked our full-time jobs. Mm-hmm. We haven't eaten. Sometimes we're writing content right before we need food, and we're drinking. You know how we like to show up.
We get down.
But thank you all for your support.
We love you guys. Make sure you follow us on IG at I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Christy, can you take care of that so I can?
Ma'am. Follow us on IG. You can follow us at 2 Queens Crystal Things. Follow our personal pages. You all know, follow Mia, Wings Unleashed 444. You can follow me, Christiana Edwards. Thank you all so much.
Thank you guys.
And then share the podcast with your friends, family. Oh, also, we should talk about the Chicago folks.
Oh, yes.
November 6th.
I'm excited. So we were going to do the 5th, but it's the 6th now. It's just Saturday. It's Sunday. And we are going to record a live show. We're going to have live Q&A. And then we're going to do a release ceremony because it's a couple of days before the full moon. So, you guys, it is time to come kick it with your girls. We're going to make sure we have a good time with you guys.
We'll post more details.
But it is, if we can tell you now, it's in Chicago, November 6th, 4 o'clock?
Mm-hmm. 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. We are recording the episode that will be posted that upcoming Friday live.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It'll be a Q&A. We're excited.
Ooh, ooh.
And if there are topics that you all start thinking.
Yes.
If you all are coming, if there are topics that you all want to discuss.
Come on.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Light, peace, love, and soul, y'all.
And so.
Okay.
Bye.